Elon Musk has issued a stark warning. The Panama Canal might shut down soon. Yes, you heard that correctly. The man behind space rockets and underground tunnels is now concerned about a canal. Is this crucial trade route really at risk? This shortcut links the Atlantic and Pacific, moving billions in goods. What would a shutdown mean for the global economy? Are we looking at soaring prices, empty shelves, and global trade chaos? Stay tuned as we delve into Musk's alarming warning and the high-stakes future of this essential trade route. The Panama Canal, a 50-mile marvel of engineering, isn't just a symbol of human ingenuity. It's a lifeline for global trade. But here's the thing. This engineering marvel relies on a delicate balance, a delicate dance between concrete, steel, and something even more fundamental: water. At the heart of the Panama Canal system lies Gatun Lake, a massive artificial lake that's essentially the lifeblood of the whole operation. Ships don't just sail through the canal, they get raised and lowered through a series of locks, giant watery steps that rely on a constant supply of fresh water from Gatun Lake. Now, imagine a drought, a prolonged, relentless drought that turns the once mighty lake into a shrinking puddle. That's exactly what's happening right now. Climate change, with its rising temperatures and erratic weather patterns, has turned the screws on the Panama Canal, squeezing the water supply and pushing this crucial waterway to its limits. Less water in Gatun Lake means ships have to lighten their loads to pass through, reducing the amount of cargo they can carry. That means more ships, more trips, and longer wait times, all of which translate into one thing: delays, massive delays, that ripple through the global supply chain. Imagine you're a shipping company facing mounting pressure to deliver goods on time. You're looking at a parched Panama Canal, a bottleneck that could cost you time and money. So, as the Panama Canal grapples with its water woes, the world watches with bated breath.
The Panama Canal, for over a century, has been a testament to human ambition, a feat of engineering that revolutionized global trade. But even this titan of transportation isn't immune to the pressures of progress, especially when that progress comes in the form of ships that seem to get bigger by the year. Think about it. The container ships of today are absolute behemoths, floating cities designed to haul mountains of cargo across the oceans. These modern-day leviathans dwarf their predecessors. And while the Panama Canal underwent a major expansion in 2016 to accommodate these larger vessels, the question remains: for how long? The Panama Canal Authority, the folks responsible for keeping this maritime marvel running, are facing a constant game of catch-up. Every time they expand, it seems like the shipping industry ups the ante with even larger vessels. It's a never-ending cycle of bigger ships, tighter squeezes, and the looming question of whether the canal can keep pace. And it's not just about the size of the ships themselves, it's about the sheer volume of traffic. The canal operates 24/7, a constant procession of vessels carrying everything from cars and electronics to food and medicine. But as global trade continues to expand, so too does the strain on this vital artery of commerce. The math is simple, but sobering. More ships plus limited space equals congestion, delays, and increased costs. So, as the Panama Canal grapples with the challenges of accommodating these supersized ships, the world is watching closely. Chapter 3. The Price of Upkeep. Can Panama afford its own canal? The Panama Canal, a ribbon of water carved through the heart of Central America, stands as a testament to human ingenuity and a cornerstone of global trade. But even this engineering marvel, this symbol of progress and connectivity, isn't immune to the cold, hard realities of economics. Maintaining and operating the Panama Canal isn't just about keeping the lights on. It's about a constant battle against the forces of nature and the relentless march of time. Think about it. The canal's intricate system of locks, dams, and channels requires constant upkeep, a never-ending cycle of repairs, upgrades, and renovations. And then there's the cost of dredging, the Herculean task of removing sediment and silt that constantly accumulates in the canal, threatening to choke its flow and disrupt traffic. The Panama Canal Authority, the guardians of this vital waterway, rely heavily on the revenue generated from tolls, the fees ships pay to transit this shortcut between oceans. But what happens when the costs of maintenance and operations start to outpace the income from tolls? It's a question that keeps Panamanian officials up at night, especially in the face of global economic uncertainty. When the global economy sneezes, the shipping industry catches a cold, and the Panama Canal feels the chill. Imagine a scenario where the costs of running the canal become unsustainable, where the revenue from tolls simply can't keep up with the mounting expenses. So, as the Panama Canal navigates the treacherous waters of global economics, the world watches with a mixture of admiration and apprehension. Chapter 4. The Canal in the Crosshairs: Geopolitics and the Future of Trade. The Panama Canal, a sliver of water connecting two vast oceans, has always been more than just a shortcut. It's a geopolitical chessboard, a strategic choke point that has captivated world powers for over a century. Control of the canal means influence, leverage, and the ability to shape the flow of global trade. The United States, long a dominant force in the region, played a pivotal role in the canal's construction and maintained a tight grip on its operation for decades. But times have changed. China, with its insatiable appetite for raw materials and its growing economic might, has emerged as a major player in Panama, investing heavily in infrastructure projects and forging closer ties with the Panamanian government. This shift in geopolitical dynamics has set off alarm bells in Washington, raising concerns about China's growing influence over this vital waterway. Imagine a scenario where tensions between the U.S. and China escalate, casting a shadow over the Panama Canal. Could the canal become a bargaining chip in a larger geopolitical game, a pawn in a high-stakes struggle for dominance? It's a chilling thought, one that underscores the vulnerability of this critical trade route. And it's not just about the US and China. Other global powers, recognizing the strategic importance of the Panama Canal, are vying for influence in the region. Russia, with its own ambitions for a global maritime presence, has been strengthening ties with Latin American countries, including Panama. The Panama Canal, once a symbol of American engineering and ambition, has become a focal point for global competition, a stage where the drama of international relations plays out.
Chapter 5. The End of an Era? The Rise of New Trade Routes. The Panama Canal, for over a century, has reigned supreme as the ultimate maritime shortcut, a symbol of human ingenuity connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. But even titans can fall, and the canal, once an unchallenged champion of global trade, is facing a new breed of competitor alternative shipping routes. The Arctic, once an icy wasteland, is thawing at an alarming rate, opening up new possibilities for maritime transport. The Northern Sea Route, a treacherous passage along the Siberian coast, is becoming increasingly navigable, offering a shorter route between Asia and Europe compared to the traditional Suez Canal Mediterranean Sea Route. Imagine a world where container ships, laden with goods from China, bypass the Panama Canal altogether, opting instead for the icy allure of the Arctic. It's a scenario that's becoming more plausible by the year, driven by melting ice and the relentless pursuit of efficiency in the shipping industry. But the Arctic route, while promising, comes with its own set of challenges. The unpredictable weather conditions, the lack of infrastructure, and the potential environmental hazards pose significant risks for shipping companies. Russia, with its vast Arctic coastline, sees itself as a key player in this emerging maritime theater, eager to capitalize on the economic and strategic opportunities presented by a thawing Arctic. The Panama Canal, once the undisputed king of maritime shortcuts, is now facing a future where its dominance is no longer guaranteed.
The future of global trade navigating uncertain waters. So, is the Panama Canal truly on the brink of shutting down? While it may not happen overnight, the risks are real, and the consequences would be felt worldwide. Elon Musk's warning, however unconventional, serves as a wake-up call. Governments, industries, and consumers alike must brace for potential disruptions in global trade. What do you think? Could the world adapt if the Panama Canal were to shut down? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights into the biggest stories shaping our world.